Are you happy? I'm sorry, I know that's probably a bit of a forward question, but it is a question that's worth examining. And the reason is that a lot of people aren't happy. And you see, there's actually a lie that almost every single person is telling themselves that is preventing them from being happy. And in today's video, I want to tell you what that lie is, why people say it, and what you can hopefully do to stop. The issue is that you may not even realize that you're stopping your own happiness. As humans, we have this weird tendency to defer our happiness to the future.
Because up to then, I could tell myself, well, if I had money, I wouldn't need to do this. If I was doing the thing I wanted to do, that would solve everything.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us proceed through life thinking we would be happy if. We would have self-esteem if. We would know contentment if. And those are illusions that most people don't get to find out are illusions.
How many times have you told yourself that you'd be happy if you just had $1 million, or that new job, or that new car that you want, or that relationship that you've been looking for, whatever the fuck it is? You tell yourself, when I get it, then I'll be happy. I know that I've done this. I still do this to this day. I can actually give you a personal example with this YouTube channel right here. Literally, since I started this YouTube channel, all I have told myself is that if I can just make a living off of the platform, I will be happy. It's gonna be the last piece of the happiness puzzle. If I could just get, I don't know, 1 million subscribers, oh my God, that would be it. I would be happy, would be 100% content with my life. But the problem is that we're lying to ourselves. We are tricking ourselves. It's all bullshit. It's just a massive lie that you're making up in your head. Because if you're the type of person who chases something that they don't have right now, what makes you think that when you actually get the thing that you were chasing, you aren't going to want to just chase the next thing that you don't have? It's like having a really cheap friend who won't pay for his share of dinner or whatever it might be. Imagine if he won the lottery. Do you think that because he won the lottery, he's all of a sudden going to be generous? No, he's going to be cheap. He's just going to be cheap with a shit ton of money. And I know this not because I've gotten everything I want in life, but because there are countless examples of people who have gotten everything that they've dreamed of and still say things like this.
I've often said that I wished people could realize all their dreams and wealth and fame, and so that they could see that it's not where you're going to find your sense of completion.
I have this moment where I kind of take stock of my life, and I am about to star in this movie, Zathura. They're paying me a ton of money. People recognize me at the airport. I'm doing everything I had dreamt of doing for 30 years. It all came true. And I am the least happy I've ever been in my life. And I have every single thing on paper that I wanted.
As a Beatle, we made it, and there was nothing to do. We had money, we had fame, and there was no joy.
Oh, that sitcom's coming. Like, that sitcom, it's coming. When I got it, I mean, I won't say it was a depression, but you kind of go through a disappointment because that fame or that thing didn't satisfy the way you thought it was going to satisfy. Mm-hmm.
So how is this possible? How does someone get everything they could ever possibly dream of and still be unhappy? Well, I think the answer is that we don't actually know what we want. Not what we think we want, but what we actually want. We know what we think we want. We want the fancy car, we want the promotion, we want the money and the fame. Those are the things that we think we want. And one of the reasons we think that we want these things is because of the social validation that comes with having these things. You see, human beings evolved in tribes, and your ability to fit into that tribe and be socially accepted in that tribe was actually a matter of life or death a lot of the time. And unfortunately for you and I, our ape brains, our little peanut brains, haven't really changed all that much since that time. And so we still feel like being a part of the tribe and being socially accepted is a matter of life or death. And so we go after the money and the fame and the shiny new objects because that is what we think that we want. And we actually think that we want these things because they're hard to get. Our entire lives, we have been told that worthwhile things are hard to get. And so if something wasn't hard to get, well, it must not be worthwhile because every single person would have it.
One of the things about pursuing status, like look at the car he's driving and look at the watch he's wearing and look at the girl he's with, that's unattainable to many people, so it seems like it's valuable. But then you attained it. And then you realize, oh, this is not valuable. This is just difficult to get. And there's a difference. There's a big difference.
And there isn't fundamentally an issue with any of these things. You can have a lot of money or a nice car or whatever it is. The actual issue is that we tricked ourselves into thinking that these are the things that are gonna make us happy. Well, we actually haven't tricked ourselves.
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
What you call love was invented by guys like me to sell nylons.
But as I'm sure you know, these are not the things that fulfill us. Us human beings are very good at taking things for granted.
I'm just saying, life's short. We shouldn't take things for granted. Are you saying granite? Well, yeah. It's granted with a D.
The satisfaction of that new thing fades quickly, and your desire for something new starts even more quickly. I'm sure you know the feeling. You have ordered something online, you're super pumped to get it. While it's getting delivered, you are researching it, you're watching videos on it. You literally can't stop checking the delivery status on your phone. Eventually it finally comes, you run upstairs, you rip open the package, and you're like super pumped to have this thing for a day or two. And before you know it, you are totally numb to this thing. It's become part of your daily life. You're taking it for granted and you're moving on to the next thing. And so you might be asking, what's the solution? I am a firm believer that happiness lies within the process of doing something that you love, completely neglecting the end results of that thing. You need to figure out what feels like play to you, but work to others. In other words, what can you do for 10 hours straight on a Sunday without even giving it a second thought or needing a break? Or what thing completely re-energizes you when you get home from a really shitty day at work? That is what you need to be laser focused on. Things that bring you purpose and energy and fulfillment, and not focusing on things that you just think that you want. Because there's actually a really scary truth about pursuing something you don't actually want.
I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.